Welcome into another episode of the Happening Hoops podcast. I am here with the new head men's basketball coach of Army West Point, Kevin Kuwik. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Kuwik?
You got it. You're
There
good.
we
Yep.
go.
Yep.
And yeah, so this is the second interview of our offseason series where we're interviewing all five of the new Patriot League head men's basketball coaches. Kind of unprecedented in a league that we see half the league start over new at the coaching position this offseason. So thank you, Coach, for joining me today. I'm excited to talk hoops.
No, hey, really excited to be here. You said five head coaches, obviously. Dave Paulson, John Griffin, and Dwayne Simpkins they and I have great A10 ties together, know all those guys. So I'm gonna be cheering for them all the time, except for a couple games.
Yeah, when I was looking into backgrounds, I really was surprised that, you know, as you mentioned, the four of you guys spent a lot of time together in the A10 there, so you probably already know, some of the sets that you're going to run, maybe, or recruiting ways that you guys do. I'm interested to see particularly those matchups, how they're going to go.
No, really looking forward to it. And, to me, the thing about the league is, I mean, great schools and obviously great schools attract great kids. So, the way college landscape is right now, to be honest, it's could be a little bit discouraging out there, but I think this is still, we have a lot of kids in our league that are in it for something bigger than themselves and not just for these 4 years, but for the rest of their lives. And I think, this is a pretty like-minded league as far as the institutions that, are kind of preparing you for life after basketball.
Yeah, exactly, and that's kind of what the Patriot League prides itself on. Patriot League is obviously home to two of the three service academies that play at the Division I level, and in my opinion, Army's probably one of the most unique Division I jobs in the country. I'll just ask you, what made you interested in the job?
Well, I mean, D1 jobs are hard to get in the first place. I've been in it. I've been lucky to work for some great guys, and you hope at some point the timing will be right and the fit will be right. I think as you look at the landscape, you can always say, "Oh, that job would be a good fit, and that job would be a good fit, and that job would be a good fit." But the bottom line is for every one of those jobs, there's probably 20, 30, 40 other guys that think they're a pretty good fit for it too.
Yeah.
So, it's not that easy. Now, I can say pretty confidently, and I was telling one of my friends, I was joking. I was like, Division I head coaching jobs are so hard to get. I pretty much had to go to Iraq to get this one. So, that I guess I'm pretty uniquely qualified for this one. I kind of know I didn't go to West Point, obviously. I was in ROTC, but I kind of know, what we're looking for as far as, producing some future officers, some future leaders of young men and women. And, I'm really excited about being at a place like this, what is, that has so much tradition and you get to work with such honestly awesome young men.
Yeah, and you touched on it a little bit there. How would you say your background has prepared you specifically for West Point?
Oh, geez. Well, you know, yeah, I mean, I think there's a rigor to this that's beyond just basketball and showing up. But I look at it the other way too. Like obviously, I think I can speak the same language as these guys to a certain point. I think I can, see the picture beyond basketball as far as producing future officers in our Army. But I think the other piece though is the places that I've been at, the coaches I've worked for. I think that's going to allow me to give my guys something else basketball wise beyond, what the academy is necessarily about. So, perfect example. I think, Thad Motta will bring in a recruit and their parents, they'll be sitting on the couch and he'll be like, the way we treat your son, the way we coach your son, the way we care for your son, I want him to wake up with a smile on his face every single day. And there's going to be some days at the academy that it's going to be hard to wake up with a smile on your face. Let's just be honest.
Yeah.
But to me, what I want to do is when they roll up at 1,500 for basketball, for practice, for workout, whatever, myself, my staff, our energy, the way we pour into these guys, the workouts, the practices, our style of play, I want it to be something that they have that smile on their face and they're excited to get in the gym with us. And, that's, to me, that's what I owe these guys, for the grind that they go through often. And I'm just really excited to kind of try to, make this dream a reality for myself and for them.
Absolutely. And, talking about the players on your roster, you have some talent coming back. Jalen and Charlie, I remember from, watching the press conference, they talked about how they actually had, your athletic director talked about how they had some input in the search, which I feel like is not something you oftentimes hear athletic departments say. In my opinion, from following the league, I'd say they're probably the best 1-2 senior duo in the league, of guys who are both seniors. And you get to coach two great players for this year. What are your expectations for them?
Well, you're putting a lot of pressure on me. Hopefully the coach doesn't mess that up then if they're the best 1-2 punch in the league. But no, here's the deal. I think, being a senior at the academy is unique. Um, they're going pro as officers more than likely. So like it's not just your senior year, your last fall, your last, non-conference, your last conference. Like, there's something different waiting on the other side for them than all, these guys at a lot of these other places. So, to me, that makes it a little extra special. To me, that puts a little more pressure on me to make sure that, we squeeze every drop out of this experience for these guys as we can. They've been, they're sacrificing, they're, giving something to their country that, beyond what every other scholarship athlete in Division I is doing. And, we want to make sure that we recognize that, reward that. So, I love those two guys. I think they have a great attitude. They've had great leadership for us here this spring. They're talented. They're working their butts off. And, I'm excited to see what they can do here on their last ride.
No doubt. And, service academy rosters, I feel like fascinate me. You know, whenever I kind of see the roster, if I'm, covering a game, wherever here in the DMV or at Loyola, I'll see the roster sheet and it's 26 or 27 guys long, which you don't see anywhere else besides the service academies. I don't think the casual fans maybe necessarily, know that. But can you explain to fans just how the roster looks like, how it works and what recruiting is going to look like under your tenure?
Well, it's yeah, it's such a unique beast. And, you know, again, we're not constrained by scholarship, limits, 13 scholarships per se. And, obviously there's, we're not able to replenish with transfers out of the portal. So,
Mhm.
for whatever reason, at some point along the way, it's like, hey, let's bring in 6 to 8 guys a year. And, hopefully, we're able to kind of piece together a rotation through that. And, so, I mean, I'm still kind of navigating that myself. Like, I think setting up a practice plan and, with that many guys and figuring out how we can engage them and make sure they're all awesome guys. They're all not going to be able to play the minutes that, they probably dream of or they would like, but, they're all in it for something bigger than themselves. They're in it for their brothers. So we need to kind of capitalize on that camaraderie piece. We need to find a way to be creative as far as, hey, we got to have the best scout team in Division I.
Yeah.
Those guys that maybe aren't traveling, that aren't in the, top 10 or 12, like, we got to challenge them and we got to coach them and love them and support them just as much as we do our top 5 guys. So for me and my staff, I think that's the challenge. I mean, 1 through 27, they're all amazing young men. And I want to the degree I can, I want them all to have a great experience and I want them, for their dreams to come true, especially from a team aspect.
And you said you and your staff challenging them there. I don't know, oftentimes athletic departments like to wait until the official release. Is there any word about your staff and what that's going to look like?
Well, we got to do super secret squirrel background checks at the academy.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
I'm going to have to keep you guessing a little bit there, but I think we're getting pretty close to being able to announce it. And, Nick Thorson is staying on from, he's been at MAPS and he's been on the previous staff. He's been a great asset for me, as far as knowing how the academy works. I mean, this is a place where, the knowledge of admissions and scheduling and all that kind of stuff has been invaluable. So really excited about him. He has great relationships with our players, obviously, haven't been here. And then I think we're going to be able to attract some, really good guys, to go along with him. And we're going to have a great team of coaches and we're going to give our guys everything we got.
Awesome. And how, your athletic director in the introductory press conference, he said that you articulated to him a clear vision of how you guys are going to get to the Patriot League championship. Your Army has never been to the NCAA tournament. What exactly does your vision look like for that?
Well, as a matter of fact, the Army has never been to the Patriot League championship in 33 years. So, you can't get to the tournament until you get to the Patriot League
That's
championship
very
by my
true. Yep.
calculations. I don't know. Yeah, that's my engineering degree from Notre Dame, I guess. But, hey, here's the deal. Like, I've been lucky. I've worked for some amazing coaches, Thad Mata, Bob McKillop, Brad Stevens, Archie Miller. And we've at each place we've been able to win championships and we've been able to go to tournaments. Certainly not just because of me by any stretch, but I feel I've contributed to that. Each place we did it a little bit differently, but to me the secret sauce is every day having a championship process, whether it's in the weight room, going to class, community service, skill work, practice, whatever it is, and that's the challenge on our guys. Hey, if we want to do something that's never been done, we got to, do more. And so, I mean, I think there's a lot of components that go into that. I think that's on the coaches, that's on the players, that's on all of us, but we got to raise our level in every area. As the leader of the program, it's my job to challenge these guys, inspire these guys, have that vision, have that roadmap, and, my thing for them, I'm every day, me and my staff, we are going to be passionate and we're going to be prepared. And then our mantra for our program is being tough, being together, and being detailed. So when you put all that together, that's our blueprint. That's how we're going to try to make this happen. There's a lot of hard work to be done. You can't just say, oh, we're going to win championships. That's not how that works. But day in, day out, we got to grind it out. We got to believe. And then we got to try to give ourselves a chance come March, get to that championship game and have a chance to make that happen.
Yeah, and then I got probably just one last question for you here. I'm a scheduling nerd myself. I love kind of following the release of schedules and seeing who's going to play where. Any scheduling news, either carry over from last year or things that you're in the works with now?
Huh. Man, you're really putting me on the spot. Like trying to pry all this information out of me.
I apologize for that. I'm just trying to
No, you're doing your job.
figure
I
it out.
appreciate you. Well, here's the deal. We're having a year-end team dinner tomorrow night, and I'm going to talk to my guys about that tomorrow. So I kind of don't want to let the cat out of the
Okay,
bag
okay.
before those
Yeah,
guys know. So
yeah.
how about this? We will get offline after tomorrow, and I can hopefully share some nuggets with you and give you some scoop. And John Rothstein and Jeff Goodman can get mad at me about that. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, okay. Well, thank you, Coach, for joining me here on the Happening Hoops podcast. Definitely look forward to connecting, at some point on the road this year during the season.
Well, hey, you're always welcome. I appreciate your passion for Patriot League hoops. It's probably not the most household name or the sexiest league in the world, but obviously great coaches, great players, and really looking forward to this upcoming season.
Absolutely. And everybody, you can join, and watch previous episodes of the Happening Hoops chat. And we interviewed Bucknell's coach John Griffin III in our last episode, and we're going to be hitting the other coaches after this. So be sure to tune
So
in.
he's going by John Griffin III now, huh?
Yeah.
All right, I'm
Yeah.
going to text him when we get off. I didn't realize that. All right,
Well, I
I
believe that's what it says on the official website. I'm not sure what I switch between the third and just John Griffin. I should text
no,
him and see what he wants.
it's all good. I'm going to just bust his chops for it. That's all.
Yeah, good talking with you, Coach.